G'day fellas, and welcome to a recap video for the first stage of the Caster Mode Cup. Now, before we get into this video, it does contain spoilers, so if you haven't watched all of the games from the first 3 rounds, I'd recommend going back and doing that if you would like to. Otherwise, let's get into it. So, you're probably watching this video because either we have reached the end of the 3rd round, or because you've looked at the 3rd place match and thought, how the hell did this happen? Well, that's what we're here to explain and walk you through the rules of the event and exactly how the standings came to be. So when it comes to the round or the group stage here, so we have every single player playing up against one another. So Marine Lord versus Casper, then Marine Lord versus Leenock, then Marine Lord versus Beastie, and so on and so forth. Everybody plays against everybody. So if you clean sweep your enemy, that means if you beat them 2-0, because it is a best of 3, you're going to be awarded 3 points. If your enemy manages to take a game off you, that awards you 2 points, and it also gives 1 point over to them. So ideally you'd like to beat them 2-0, but obviously it's not always in your control. So let's take a look at the first round and see exactly what happened. So Marine Lord went up against Casper in our first series. And with that, Marine Lord beat Casper. However, he beat him 2-1. So that gives Marine Lord 2 points, gives Casper 1 point. Beastie went up against Leenock. Beastie clean swept him, which meant that Leenock didn't even get a single point, and Beastie got 3. So at the end of the first round, Beastie was out on top and Marine Lord was coming in second. So I'll switch these around so that so that it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. Now, if you are wondering what the numbers are before their names, that's actually indicative of their seeds for the Red Bull Wallalol tournament. So at the moment, not at the moment, but for the event, Marine Lord is seed 1, Beastie Cutie seed 3, seed 10 is Casper, and seed 9 is Leenock. So that was the first round that happened. Second round came up, and Beastie went up against Casper. Now, you guys might know this. Casper is a little bit of the kryptonite for Beastie. Unfortunately for Beastie, he's just, I don't know, Casper's just got just the way that he plays. And Casper 2-0'd Beastie, which puts Casper up to 4 points. Now, Marine Lord went up against Leenock, and unfortunately, Leenock again got clean swept. So it was 2-2-0 series in the second round. And that puts Marine Lord up to 5 points. So in the end, or I should probably move it like this. So coming into the third round, Marine Lord and Casper looking pretty solid for their positions at the end. But then we do eventually get to the third round, and the third round is obviously the main event. That's what we're all waiting for. The first game was between Leenock and Casper. And Casper took out Leenock 2-0, getting all of his 7 points, or rather, or getting 3 points. Hold on, let me double check. Yeah, 3 points. So he went 3 points up to the top spot, 7. And then Marine Lord went up against Beastie. Now, Marine Lord, all he really needed to do here was to tie. Or sorry, not to tie, but if he wins one game, Marine Lord will get 6 points, and then Beastie will only get 5 points because we can see here that Marine Lord is on 5 points, and the only way that Beastie is going to be able to overtake Marine Lord is if he beats him 6, or beats him 2-0. And Beastie beat him 2-0. So what that meant is that we have 7 points, 6 points, and a 5 points, and Marine Lord is that one that is on 5 points. So had Marine Lord won a single game against Beastie, he would have gone through to the grand final instead of Beastie. But unfortunately, he didn't. And it meant that we are going to see a grand final between Casper and between Beastie. So I don't know exactly how it's going to go down. All I know is that Casper is the kryptonite of Beastie. Marine Lord's going to be going up against Leenock in the 3rd place match. And a lot of people might look at this and say, well, Marine Lord, you know, he 2-0'd Casper, or rather 2-0'd Leenock in the second round. So surely it's not going to be close. Well, keep in mind, Leenock actually beat Marine Lord back at N4C. The last time I was in Germany, Marine Lord was looking like this impossible to beat individual. He won every single game in his group stage, and then he went into the finals. I think by the end, or by the time he got to Leenock, he was 23 wins and like 1 loss, something like that. It was ridiculous. Anyway, Leenock took him out. I think the final score was like 4-1. Leenock took him out. So it's definitely on the cards for a Leenock upset over Marine Lord. In fact, you might even look, at the moment, Marine Lord's in pretty good form. You'd probably still put your money on him, but Leenock definitely going to be up there. And then, of course, we've got the grand final match, which will be coming up after that. So, Casper versus Beastie. Now, Casper took out Beastie 2-0. This is a little bit different, though, because this is not just a best of 3 now. This is going to be a best of 7. And that's where I think there's probably a bit more advantage coming in for Beastie, because he does have quite a good high competence on all civilizations. Casper's a bit more specialist. And keep in mind, obviously, the new civilizations are involved in this as well, so that leaves even more complexity when it comes to that. So, look, I still think Beastie's in with a shot, but I'm going to be giving Casper maybe about like a 60% chance to win it. So that's how we got to this position. So if you're wondering, you know, maybe the third place matches have started uploading and you've seen Marine Lord's face in the thumbnails, and you're like, what the hell? Well, this is exactly why. This is how we got here. It was, to be honest, it's worked out absolutely beautifully. I mean, I think everybody coming into this event probably thought it's going to be Marine Lord versus Beastie Cutie in the grand final. No two ways about it. And yet, the guy with the most points is Casper. Someone no one expected. And honestly, watching Casper play yesterday, it was just, I felt like I was witnessing just magic. He's playing so perfectly, and he came incredibly close to beating Marine Lord as well. So, I mean, very easily, Casper could have been sitting here on 8 or even 9 points. But anyway, that is going to be it for this video. Just a nice little update video just to let you know where the players stand at the end of the first day. And we'll catch you in the next one. Good luck. Have fun.